Woodstock's biggest stories are live on Channel 2 Action News.
Developing right now, a valet tries to stop a car break-in only to end up dead.
If I had a son, I would want him. For sure. He definitely deserves justice.
The victim's family reacts as police try to track down this person of interest in the deadly shooting.
Live, local, late-breaking. This is Channel 2 Action News at 6 p.m. Coverage you can count on.
Thanks for joining us on this Saturday, or on this Sunday evening. I'm Karen Greer in for Candace McCowan. Developing right now, police are trying to find this person of interest they believe shot and killed a valet in a Buckhead parking deck. This happened this morning around 1:30 near the Longhorn Steakhouse on Piedmont. Channel 2's Larry Spruill is live at that parking deck, and Larry, the victim's family is speaking out about this tragic incident.
And Karen, the family tells me that the victim's name was Harrison Olway, and he was a valet right here at this parking garage here in Buckhead. Now, police say he was shot and killed while stopping someone from breaking into cars. Now, Atlanta police responded to the scene around 1:35 this morning. That's when they found Harrison Olway shot. He was taken to the hospital, and that's where he died. Now, police say he was working here as a valet when he was shot and killed. Police sent Channel 2 Action News this photo, who they say is a person of interest. We talked to the victim's family earlier today. Take a listen.
Just a good kid. Always look for the good in things. Never the bad. Never negative. Always positive. And that's just the way he is. So it kind of rubs off when you're around him.
And now police said that person of interest is armed and dangerous. I recently spoke with the Fulton County District Attorney about the crime here that's going on in our area. Hear more from her coming up tonight after the game. We are live in Buckhead. Larry Spruill, Channel 2 Action News.
All right, Larry, still so hard to believe that these things are happening around town and such a busy weekend. Thanks for that. We'll be waiting to hear your report after the game. It is the second similar incident in the last week. On Monday, a security guard died after someone shot and killed him on Spring Street in Midtown. Police say 33-year-old Shadarian Jacobs was inside a parking garage on his lunch break when the suspect shot him. Atlanta police say that man inside his car is a person of interest. Take a look at your screens. There's now a $2,000 reward being offered. New developments to a shooting we first brought you as breaking news at noon. Police say 5 people were shot, including a 15-year-old and a 3-year-old in the shooting this morning on Atkins Road in northwest Atlanta. They say there was some kind of fight that escalated into an 18-year-old opened fire on the victims before shooting himself. He died. All the victims, we're told, are in stable condition.
So we're standing here on a sunny morning on a Sunday, where again we see a theme of anger, intimate relationship between individuals, and a gun has led to tragedy.
Police have not identified the victims or the suspect or their relationship. We're learning more about a police shooting that killed a 17-year-old accused of killing a police canine. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation says police killed Stephon Ford of Jonesboro when he pointed a gun at them and tried to shoot, but his gun malfunctioned. This happened yesterday morning in a wooded area behind some homes in Jonesboro. Overnight, we received this new tribute from the Clayton County Police Department for Canine Officer Worrell. The police dog was shot near a Quick Trip on North Avenue and Terra Boulevard yesterday. There's been another drowning at Lake Lanier. The Georgia Department of Natural Resources says it happened at Holiday Marina last night. Hall County Fire Rescue recovered the body of 23-year-old Gavri Whitlock of Snellville. Witnesses say he was running on a dock, slipped and fell in the water and did not resurface. Construction crews have yet to begin repairing a Cobb County road washed out by heavy rains. They're waiting on pipes to arrive tomorrow. The sinkhole cuts Spring Hill Parkway in half near Cumberland Boulevard in Smyrna. Drivers have been rerouted around that busy road near Cumberland Boulevard.
It's huge. I've seen the pothole. It's too huge.
New to the area, so it's a nuisance. I'm not familiar with the back roads.
We're told construction is expected to begin Tuesday and could go on through the month of September. New since noon, we learned the name of the victim in 2 homicides this weekend. We now know 31-year-old Freddie Lowe died in a shooting on Thomasville Boulevard in southeast Atlanta just after 1 o'clock Saturday morning. We also have the mugshot of the suspect police arrested. His name is Leverett Hancock. And in a deadly shooting on Fairburn Road in southwest Atlanta around 3 a.m. yesterday, 44-year-old Theon Elliott died. At last check, police did not have a suspect in custody. The pills many people take might not be what they think. The Atlanta-based Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says overdose deaths because of counterfeit pills are up. The data shows that 54,000 people overdosed and died from counterfeit pills in the last 2 years. And that is more than double the rate they saw in the years leading up to that span. Researchers blame fentanyl for being put in these pills.
The overall contamination of drug supplies with illicit fentanyl is a huge contributor.
More than half the deaths involve people under the age of 35. Well, the long holiday weekend is full of things to do in Atlanta, and there are some big events, a couple of them to be sure. One is Atlanta Black Pride. Thousands of people are at Piedmont Park in Midtown Atlanta for the Pure Heat Community Festival. People can browse a number of vendor booths. One of them is Positive Impact, which provides free health services.
So we offer HIV testing, we have PrEP services, we're about to open a dental clinic, we have our emotional wellness and recovery, we have pharmacies on site.
We make sure that we are part of the community, that we encourage everyone to get help. We are here.
And the event at the park runs through 8 o'clock tonight with a festival on the stage. There are other late night events all around town. And after a big parade on Saturday, the annual pop culture festival Dragon Con is in full swing in downtown Atlanta. It goes through Labor Day. That's tomorrow. On tap today, a character meet and greet for the children, live performances, DJs, and a burlesque show.
Well, it has been a gorgeous Labor Day weekend so far. We have the sunshine out there right now, but we're talking more heat building into next week. We'll talk more about that coming up in just a few minutes.
Jimmy Buffett fans are remembering the singer's life after he passed away this weekend.
It's definitely sad, you know, when you hear about stuff like this. It's never easy.
Local Parrot Heads explain what the music legend meant to their lives. New developments in the death of Jimmy Buffett. His obituary now says he had been fighting Merkel cell skin cancer for the last 4 years. His death has many around the country and here in Georgia paying tribute to the beloved singer, songwriter. Channel 2's Courtney Francisco is at Buffett's Land Shark Landing on Lake Lanier. Courtney, what are you hearing from local Parrot Heads?
Well, Karen, they're telling me that this memorial made it real for them. You have the shark fin in the sand, Jimmy Buffett's photo blown up. He's in a boat here, flowers down below that. Over here, people have left messages in bottles. And then walk with me this way. A live band is playing some of his best hits. This is Margaritaville. You hear right now. Jimmy Buffett was getting treatment for his skin cancer diagnosis and continued to perform during that. His last show was in July this year, a surprise appearance in Rhode Island, but he died Friday at his home in Sag Harbor, Long Island, according to his obituary, with family by his side. Fans here talking about the stress relief his songs brought to their lives. Hits like Margaritaville, and it's 5 o'clock somewhere. I spoke to those who took a moment of silence here at the memorial on the beach.
I started to tear up a little bit. So I got my picture at the memorial, and so yeah, that meant a lot. It's a rough day.
So emotional, just so emotional. We just really love him, and just it's just heartbreaking. We had no idea that he was even sick.
And tonight at 9 o'clock right here, there will be a fireworks show. We expect a lot of the Parrot Heads to stick around and share their stories about their concerts and the person that made them happy in hard times. Reporting live at Lake Lanier, Courtney Francisco, Channel 2 Action News.
Well, keeping an eye on the tropics, there's a system that we're going to have to watch very closely here over the next several days. I'll show you where the system could potentially be heading coming up.
Heavy rains after stranding thousands in the Nevada desert at Burning Man, the drastic conditions they face and why no one's able to get in or out. Tens of thousands of festival goers stranded after torrential rain made a muddy mess of the Burning Man Festival in the Nevada desert. There has been at least one death reported. Officials warned attendees at the Cultural Arts Festival to shelter in place indefinitely and try to conserve food, water, and fuel.
They shut the water down. I'm walking around helping pull power cables out of the ground.
Music star Diplo shared this video and said he and comedian Chris Rock walked 5 miles in the mud before a fan picked them up. Thankfully, we are avoiding the rain as we enjoy a beautiful holiday weekend here in the metro area. Meteorologist Ashley Kramlich is in Severe Weather Center 2 tracking the changes. We could see what a difference a week has made.
Oh, it is so nice out there, Karen, for this weekend. We deserve this weather, especially after the August that we had that was so unbearably hot. Yeah, a nice little fall preview of this weekend. This is a live look outside of our Midtown camera here, sitting nice and comfortably in the mid-80s. These numbers are going to be dropping into the 70s this evening. We'll keep the sunshine around at least for the next few hours. So a very nice evening to spend it outside. Let's talk temperatures right now. Across North Georgia, we're seeing upper 80s over in the Eatonton area, 83 in LaGrange, we're at 82 in Blairsville. At least we're not in the 90s, but they will be returning. And notice we're mostly dry here across North Georgia, and most of the southeast, the storms, they have been down along the coast here, and we're going to be staying dry for the next several days. Dropping to about 79 by 9 o'clock, mid-70s by 11. Tomorrow morning is going to be another very delightful morning. Feeling like fall once again. Temperatures to begin the day, mid-60s here in the city. Outlying spots dropping down to the low 60s over in Eatonton, 62 to begin the morning up in Blairsville. And we're going to fill our Labor Day with a lot of sunshine. So for any of your outdoor plans, heading to the pool, grilling out, looks to be good for our Labor Day. By Tuesday, though, more clouds move in. They'll block some of the sunshine. It's not going to block the heat, though, so still pretty hot conditions for us. Temperatures tomorrow going to be going up a little bit quicker than what we saw today. We'll have a few clouds around by lunchtime. If you're planning on grilling out, looks nice, but by the afternoon, temperatures will be back in the low 90s and getting even hotter as we go throughout the rest of the week. By Tuesday, pushing 92. Wednesday, mid-90s. And if you like the heat, well, it's going to be sticking around at least through mid-September. Average highs for this time of year, mid-80s. Looks more likely we're going to be in the low, potentially mid-90s through at least the first half of the month. Okay, I want to talk tropics here because it's still a very active season. We have Gert out here in the middle of the Atlantic. We have Katia that formed just a few days ago. That's just off the coast of Africa here. But look at this storm system. That's starting to get its act together. And this is definitely something to watch over the next several days into this upcoming week. A lot of models have this tracking really north of the Caribbean here and moving a little bit closer towards the southeast as we go into the next week. Something we're going to be watching. High chance for this to develop, about 90% chance over the next 7 days. In the meantime, for us, a pretty dry forecast, but a hot forecast. Mid-90s by midweek. We stay in the 90s through the end of the week, and we'll bring in just an isolated chance for a few showers and thunderstorms as we end out the week and head into the weekend. Karen?
All right. Thank you so much, Ashley. Alex Murdoch is appealing his conviction in the murder of his wife and younger son. The questions his lawyers have for the jury who found him guilty.
Portions of Channel 2 Action News are brought to you by Atlanta Toyota.
Welcome back. It appears disgraced South Carolina attorney Alex Murdoch may seek an appeal for his double murder conviction. A jury found him guilty earlier this year of killing his wife and son. Now he reportedly appears to be focusing on that jury. This morning, ABC News learned the defense team for Alex Murdoch, the disgraced former South Carolina attorney found guilty of murdering his wife and son, will hold a press conference this Tuesday about their plans to appeal that conviction.
All right, Mr. Murdoch, I sentence you to the State Department of Corrections on each of the murder indictments.
In March, Murdoch was convicted of the murders of shooting and killing his wife, Maggie, and youngest son, Paul. They were shot multiple times. Murdoch is currently serving a life sentence. His lawyers already filed notice they plan to challenge his guilty verdict, but haven't yet laid out their legal argument. In an interview this week, his attorney, Jim Griffin, said as part of their appeal, his team interviewed jurors in the case, looking for bias, saying, quote, there are serious questions as to whether this jury was subject to outside influences during the case.
Appeals are extraordinarily difficult to win. The question that I'm sure the counsel for Alex Murdoch in this appeal is going to argue is there's no way that this small town in South Carolina where this family had such a prominent name, there wasn't a person in the area that didn't know the Murdoch name.
Similar claims about an allegedly tainted jury were made by Murdoch's eldest son, Buster, in a new Fox Nation docuseries, The Fall of the House of Murdoch.
It's an absolutely excruciatingly difficult experience.
Now, Buster also said while he doesn't think his father killed his mother and brother, he believes his father does have some psychopathic qualities. The Atlanta Braves remain the best team in baseball and have a chance to do something at Dodger Stadium tonight that they haven't been able to do in more than 60 years. Channel 2 sports anchor Allison Mastrangelo shows us next in sports.
Tonight's primetime lineup is sponsored by Woodstock Furniture and Mattress Outlet.
Hey, welcome to sports. The Braves are the first team to 90 wins this season, and this afternoon they have a chance to sweep the Dodgers, something they haven't been able to do since Dodger Stadium opened up in 1962. This game is still going on right now. It's the top of the 7th inning, but Matt Olson ends his 18th game home run drought with a big blast to right field. It's his 44th long ball of the season. Dodgers still lead by 1, and I'll have all the highlights on Sports Zone Sunday tonight at 11:35. Now, Georgia's season opener was the start of a new era for UGA. It marked the debut of UGA 11, a.k.a. Boom, and it was the start of a new quarterback era with Carson Beck starting under center. However, Beck wasn't the only new name we heard called several times on the field. Receiver Mekhi Muse stepped up when his number was called on, especially with veteran receivers Lab McConkey and Marcus Rosemary Jack Saint, who did not play for various reasons. Now, Muse's teammates weren't surprised at all by his success last night against the Skyhawks.
I didn't see nobody give out the ball, but if anybody would have get the ball, it would have been Mekhi Muse. He's just a great performer. He's going to eat off the floor every time we need him to. He's going to go out there and perform at the highest level, and I commend for that.
If I had to give a game ball to somebody, I'd give it to Mekhi Muse. I thought he played really well.
He's a baller throughout the weeks of practice. I mean, he had a great fall camp, and it's just so awesome seeing him out there making plays.
Last night, offensive lineman Xavier Truss wore number 77 to honor his fallen teammate, Devin Willock. The Dogs O-line coach Stacey Searles picked Truss to wear the number first because Truss was close with Willock. They were even roommates last year. Throughout the season, the lineman will rotate wearing Willock's number, but that's not the only way he's being remembered this season.
It's a blessing, honestly, a blessing. You know, a lot of people were coming up to me telling me, you know, it feels like, you know, he was in the game today, and you know that you know brought some tears to my eyes, and it just made me realize how important not only this is to me but to everybody else around me and my teammates. And I'm prideful, I'm happy, I'm blessed I get to wear this number.
The Yellow Jackets dropped their season opener to Louisville on Friday night. The team's starting QB Haynes King is not panicking about his performance. In fact, he believes it will make him a better leader for his teammates.
I read something the other day. Leader is when you look at a person and he gives you confidence. I feel like if I continue to bring this team along and they can look at me and still have confidence in me and what I can do with this team and what we can do on offense, we'll be just fine. I mean, we can score points when we have stuff rolling, and that's the key. Just you got to keep stuff rolling. Can't get cold.
Well, that's a very mature spot. Now, Tech will host South Carolina State next Saturday at 1 p.m.
Allison, thanks. Thank you for counting on Channel 2 Action News. Don't forget to download our free news and weather app on your smartphones and tablets. We'll see you again after the game for WSB Tonight.